doing. I didn't even know I was gonna come on here and do a video, but because it's after 4 o'clock my time, I'm central. But just wanted to see where you guys are. You know, I know it's the beginning of the year. I've had conversations about that, got some videos about that. It just started. I get that. But I don't know, my mind been racing. Not necessarily a bad thing. But I got so much that I feel like I want to do that I wasn't able to do before because of just a bunch of stuff. Life, kids, relationships, you know, job. Still got a job, but you know, and just your own a person's own personal struggles, because we all have them. It's just so much now that I'm in a space of I could just be. And I've been here a few weeks now, maybe about 3. It hasn't been a month yet, maybe about 3 weeks. And at first I was like, oh, when I first moved here, I was like, oh, okay, you know, I was expecting this miraculous, like overnight. I don't know what I was expecting, just to kind of fit, because I've been in survival mode. And for those that know what that is, you know, deal with the dark night of the soul and all that crap. And to get to a place where that you fought so hard to get, okay, I'm here. And I mean, you thinking you're gonna feel one way and you don't, right? It just kind of takes a minute. So I just got, and again, I have a lot to do. It's just like these thoughts. Me to execute it, I gotta have a plan. I gotta make sense, or I'll burn myself out again, which is what I'm not trying to do, because this is my recovery period. So I just kind of been jotting stuff down, writing stuff down. I've actually started doing some things and researching. You know, I'm kind of how I want to plan stuff out and doing some things. Like yesterday, I went to a herbal herbal class. It was really, really good. I was seeing 144 on the mileage, and the time that I would have gotten, that I was estimated to get there, had 144 on it. So I knew that I was meant to go to this class. And again, just me getting out, doing some different things. And, you know, I shouldn't, because I've been pretty much a hermit for the most part for 1.5 years. Minus, you know, I did go on vacation last year. It was a disaster. I think I may have mentioned that in one of my other videos. I got sick, and I never get sick. Like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was crazy. But anyway, just sitting here thinking about all the things that I probably wish that I would have done, could have done. And I know, woulda, coulda, shoulda. We shouldn't do that. But I'm human, and I'm just letting you know, yeah, I have had those thoughts. I bring myself back from it. So, but still, I've had those thoughts, and I've been having a lot of, so to tie that in with the woulda, coulda, shoulda, it's a lot of stuff with things that I really enjoyed when I was younger. And I mentioned this in another video. I don't know what side it's gonna be on, but maybe I'll put it up. I don't know. But I mentioned in another video, like I used to love to do ballet, tap dance, African dancing. And so I've been researching on where I can actually go. I know I can do it online. I really don't want to do it online. I really want to do it in person. But finding me some sort of dancing class, I'm really excited about that. So, and it's actually tying into this inner child healing, which may be probably it may be a lifelong thing for a lot of people, especially if you're a late bloomer like myself. I feel like I'm a late bloomer. I think I've mentioned my age before too. I'm in my late 40s. So, and you know, a lot of my I had my son when I was 18. You know, I ended up getting married when I was 24. I had another child, my daughter, when I was in my, I think I was in my mid 30s, early 30s. And again, you know, how that ended up being, and you know, I'm talking about the marriage and just trying to raise kids and then trying to work a full-time job, and I was in school too, doing all that. And then you get out of that, and then you know what I'm saying, because I wasn't awakened. I knew that there was something about me, but there was no outlet, there was no resource for me to really tap into pretty much anything at that point. So doing life like we were taught to do life back then. And again, without most people without any real resource to guide us on guide us to or back to who we really are. You know what I'm saying? So those that went through the whole life, I'm gonna just say the hamster wheel. The hamster wheel of life. Right? Hamster wheel of life. Went through all that. And then you finally wake up later in life, when all the craziness didn't happen. Now you gotta try to heal and figure it out and find resources, and now you gotta do, you thought you was doing work then. Now you gotta do a different kind of work. You have to relearn. That takes time. And then once you do all that, make it through. Because some people they ain't gonna make it. They gonna run back. Whoever that character's name was in the Matrix, was it Cypher? I had to watch that movie a few times, and watching it back then was one lens. Watching it again through a more spiritual lens, you will end up, because people hated Cypher. They hated him. I'm talking about the majority, right? Because we're looking at the one. I understand Cypher. Now, we'd say, okay, he shouldn't have did that to them, set them up. Of course, I'm not talking about that. But their desire to go back because the illusion was easier to navigate. You thought it wasn't. You were suffering in the illusion too. But when you get out of it, your eyes are so open, you're so naked, you're so this and so that. Whatever gifts and talents and stuff, like, especially if you're an empath, especially if you're intuitive, it heightens. And it's like these bright, beamy, blinding lights in your eyes. It hurts. And you ain't got nobody in your immediate family or friends that you can easily pick up that phone and call to talk to. Yeah. And you got to find people It's a lot. Is that everybody experience? No, but I think it's the majority. You'd be good if you had your grandma that gave you some sort of ancestral root teaching, or maybe your mama. But you can best believe that the majority ain't had that. They were under and indoctrinated under the other stuff, and they never made out of it. Never made it out of that. So that's all they can give you is that. But anyway, those that get through all of that, right? You're in a place of recuperating. And if you ain't there, if anything that I described to you, again, it's just little bullets of it all, because it's so much. And you hearing a lot of people's story on, on social media. So obviously there's not a cookie cutter experience, a journey, because we all ain't dealing with that same thing. Everybody ain't got kids. Everybody ain't been married. Right? Everybody's job wasn't completely stressful. So I know some people that actually like their job. So take it, how it needs to apply. But say you make it through all that and you are in a place of where you feel like you can start recuperating and a calmness. You don't have all this extra craziness going on. And if you do get some crazy, it's definitely not as much as it was. It's like what I'm feeling. It's like I feel like I'm starting over to some degree. I got the same job I had last year, the year before that, the year before that. So of course I'm not talking about that so much, but just me taking advantage of certain opportunities or things that I miss, or I feel that would give me some real personal satisfaction. And I don't think, would I say it will help me evolve? I guess, but it's just more so feeding those aspects of myself, like dancing. I love to dance. I love tap dancing. I love ballet. I love African dancing. And me even thinking about it really, it just makes me feel so good inside. And I can remember that as a child. And, it was something that I'm glad that my mom, found that program for me and my brothers to participate in. But that stuck with me. I'm in my late 40s and I remember those things. And I look at the way my life ended up happening, the choices I made, and then, the responsibilities that came with that, good, bad, and indifferent. I wasn't able to do certain things that were really a part of my core being. And so I'm going back to it, trying to find me the in-person classes now. I don't know what they're gonna be, but I'll let you know, obviously. And I'll share. But I'm really looking forward to that and some other things. you know. But it's just amazing how myself, and I know a lot of other adults in their mid range years and even older that made it through some of the tougher times, right? Because life gonna still life, but you feel like you made it through the tougher times, and you feel like whatever comes your way, yeah, okay, life gonna life. But if I've been through that, and I've been through hell and high water, you can say that. You can get through anything. At least that's how you feel, and you should, because what didn't break us and kill us made us stronger, because we're here in our right mind, and we know that the stuff that we've been through, we should have been cuckoo for cocoa and been gone and be, you know what I'm saying? It should have been a wrap. It would have not just toppled, it would have obliterated someone else. So, you know, yeah. But I just know that a lot of us are at that place that, again, made it through. We are like, yeah, it's almost surreal. It's almost surreal. And the starting over, I'm not scared of it. So I don't know if you guys feel scared about it, but it's just one of those like, okay, I'm this age and I got so much stuff that I want to do. Where do I start? You know, like, where do I start? And it's exciting, you know, it is. It's exciting. It's emotional, because I've cried a couple of times. And again, I'm not no crier, not like that. But I've cried quite a bit. And I mean, you know, you can cry when you are under duress and all of that type of stuff, but just tears of happiness and joy of maybe you don't see it right now, but what you are energetically putting out there and believing that is coming, or it is, right? You're speaking it into existence. You believe it what it is, because you know, hey, you can't go back. You can't go back. If you was gonna go back, you should have did it already. You should have been did it. You know what I'm saying? Because in the book, like with Cypher in the Matrix, there was that point where he chose what he chose. But had he not chosen at that point, and they would have kept going, right? I don't think Cypher would have been able to go back. I don't think that opportunity would have been open for him. He would have been you would have think he was already out of the Matrix for however many years. Get that part. But certain characters, certain dynamics hadn't transpired. Neo ended up coming into the fold, changed the whole dynamic of everything. That within that time frame or time period, that was the time for him to do whatever he was gonna do, if he was gonna do it, and he did what he did. But then there came a point, say for instance, once Neo, because that ended up when Neo came into his powers and everything, obviously that changed the dynamics of what was going on. Cypher wouldn't have been able to get away with that, or I don't even think he would have took the risk, because he would have been too scared to. Because at that point when he did it, he didn't believe Neo was the one, right? So, you know, it was like, okay, we can send however many of you just another one. But had he known, like, a little bit, if he would have just sat on and waited because he didn't know, and it would have been like, oh, it's too late. I got to keep going. I can't even go back because I'm not even finna, take this risk. And Neo, he is the one, and I'm not finna play this. So it's just an example. Like, when you get, at some point, you're too far, you're too far in it, you're too far gone, certain dynamics has changed, people are gone out your life, and maybe some good, your soul family is in your life, whatever, you can't go back. That's just it. So it's fast forward. And at the end of the day, because at that point, you just thinking that because you having a moment, and that's okay to have a moment because you're human. But that you were pretty much a walking, just almost zombie back there. It was comfortable, but it was like, at what cost? You weren't really living, you were existing. So yeah. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on what's going on now, whatever. The starting over at our age is interesting. I'm talking about this as I'm going through it. And those of you that because we all on different timelines, right? So for those of you who are about to shift to this similar, kind of on the other side, to start that recovery and major healing, because most of us we've been healing, but there comes a point where that healing needs to be catapulted, but all that stuff there's a lot of stuff that gotta go in order to do it. So it's like the Most High is allowing us to heal here and there, but then we heal, boom, heal, boom, heal, boom, and then it's like so many other things that's eating away at that. It's like you heal and then you bump it. You know what I'm saying? And it start oozing again. Getting to a place where it's like, okay, you're in a place, space, mind frame to really love on you. And I didn't even want to say that because I know that's been said so much. And I heard so much about it. So, but this ain't a woman thing. This is an anybody thing. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, to just really love on you and heal you in the right manner. Without so much chaos around you, especially if you're not the one who's creating it. So on that note, I'm gonna leave you guys 23 minutes. All right. Peace.